Hello, beautiful friends. It is Sunday morning in a extremely grey London. It's really looking grey and dull and dreary. But it's the 1st of December. And you know what that means? It is festive season. So I've got an early morning voice going on. Hopefully, I'm not too croaky. But I'm going to start with something where I'm really going to have to eat my words on this, guys. And I wanted to get it out of the way straight away. I got this, I think it's like an 8 ml Goddess Intense spray. This came from, I think, the fragrance shop because I wanted to try out their scent addict thing. Where you can get like a sample every month or whatever. Although, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure they've got the kind of scents I really want to spend that much money on. So, anyway. But I wanted Goddess Intense because when I'd had the 1 ml sample that I got from, where did I get it? Small Aromas, who are also, I mean, these are all absolutely, definitely the real deal, real perfumes, okay? I had a 1 ml sample from them when it first came out, so it was like fresh from the bottle. I thought it was really pretty when I first smelt it from there, and then I took it away with me in warm weather on a holiday, and I tried it out while we were away, and I really liked it. And I came onto my channel and I said, Burberry Goddess Intense is really nice. It's just like a wintry, patchouli heavy version of the original. And then I got this. And this just smells like tarmac to me, like sweet tarmac. So, is that aroma chemical that I hate one that gets stronger and stronger once the air has hit the perfume? Or was I just for some reason not picking this up when I first smelt the little sample? Because, I mean, this is truly unwearable to me. And I reviewed it on Fragrantica and I talked about it on here and I said people are being really rude about this perfume, but it's actually really nice. And now I mean, I'm going to have to pass this on because I could never wear this. I put some on my skin and I hated it, and all I could really deal with was like, it was just pure tar on top of the Burberry Goddess thing. And it's definitely stronger in the lavender. I can get that sense, but yeah, no, that's got that aroma chemical in it. So I am very sorry because I got that very, very wrong. And I hope no one decided to go out and buy it. And none of my subscribers who also have a problem with that smell, I hope that you didn't buy it. Because I'd said it was safe, but my goodness, yeah, I'm absolutely eating it. That was wrong. I was very wrong, and yeah, so a bit sad really, because I was quite excited about having like a really good wintry version of Burberry Goddess, because I do like that one, but I think it's nicest in warmer weather. Anyway, and then I'm about to let's see. I was going to moan about something else, but because I've got my little tree up now, I need to do this in a slightly different order. So we're going to start with an absolute beaut that I always wear in colder weather, and I saved this one because it just is actually very sweet to me. It's really sweet. It's a sweet, woody floral. So, hello, Obsession Night. I've missed you, my darling. You are absolutely delicious. Obsession Night. It's cozy, comforting. Oh, hiccup, sorry. Comforting, enveloping, pretty, feminine. It's just so lovely. It also, in a weird way, reminds me a little bit of Le Male by Jean-Paul Gaultier, but without the kind of more masculine elements of that, because it does have a strange, almost shaving foamy vibe to it when I first put it on, but then that chills out. I wonder if it's like the Angelica or something, because I can smell a lot of Angelica in this perfume. The notes are white flowers, bitter orange, Angelica, bergamot, and mandarin orange in the top, and I think for me it's kind of white flowers, bitter orange, and Angelica is a massive part of how this smells just generally. Mid-notes, gardenia, jasmine, lily of the valley, and rose. And again, I think that all just comes together to smell a bit floral. I don't know that I would really be able to pull things out from, what this smell is. Base notes, cashmere wood, vanilla, sandalwood, tonka bean, and amber. So it's cashmere wood and vanilla tonka. And it's, again, that kind of delicious combination of those two things that I really love, where it gets that kind of sort of custardy vanilla. It's a bit creamy. It's lovely, fluffy kind of woods. It's so cozy. I wore this on a really cold day and I absolutely loved it. It's just so pretty. So yeah, very, very happy to be wearing that one again. Because every now and again I've been smelling that one and I've been like, it's not cold enough yet. So I had to wait till it was cold enough. Okay. This is a declutter. This is the only one I think, well, except for obviously testing Burberry Goddess, which was a sad state of affairs. But Prerogative Ego from Britney Spears. Now, it's kind of weird because I really used to like this perfume. Oh, it's really gone dark, hasn't it? That's the only problem with having the Christmas tree, is it does like to go a bit dark because it's got the changing colours, but it's just fun. Let me know if that drives you mad, guys, and I maybe could try and find something else, but I do kind of love that little Christmas tree. So this one, I did used to really like it, and then I wore it this time and I was not feeling it. It was just a little bit sickly for me, but also it's like I actually have a ridiculous amount of perfumes that smell a little bit like this one, and I was thinking about it. Firstly, the base of this, there is a really nice creamy sandalwood in this that does smell a little bit like Katy Perry's Indie. So first, you've got the Indie thing. Then obviously I've got the original Prerogative, which I really like, which is like a less syrupy, less fruity version of this one. And it's not quite as strong either, it has to be said. Then I also have Goji Berry and Cactus from 4711, which is kind of like a less creamy version of this. It's even more fruity, but it's got a very similar kind of profile. Then I have which I think is probably my favourite of this specific kind of almost Goji smelling scent. Elizabeth Arden White Tea Vanilla Orchid. That one smells very similar to this, but like a kind of classier and more grown-up version. It's almost like Prerogative Ego had a baby with Katy Perry's Indie, and what I get, with obviously a big hint of white tea DNA. And that's what that one smells like to me. So Vanilla Orchid is the one I will be keeping and wearing instead of this one. And then I'm keeping my Goji and I'm keeping the original Prerogative. But this one, it just was a bit sickly on me. I wore it because I was wearing a pink dress because it was my stepson's birthday and we had like a dessert tapas kind of party thing. I say party, it was just the three of us, but I put on a bright pink dress because we were going to be having lots of sweet stuff, and I put this on, but it was just too much. It was too sweet for me. So this is sandalwood, apricot, amberwood and coffee, arum lily, saffron, goji berries and pink pepper. And this one I think is discontinued. So because I've got such a big bottle of it and it's not been, I've not used much, there might be someone who absolutely loves this perfume, so I'm going to pass it on in the hope that someone will appreciate it. Because I did love this one for a while, but I feel like because I got that white tea, it was just like an elevated version of this. So, yeah, I feel like that one kind of ruined me for Prerogative Ego. Oh, okay. I have not worn this for a really long time. I wish I had the transparent bottle of this because it's I think it's a nicer bottle because this one looks so much like the original. But this is Anais Premier Delice by Cacharel. So Premier Delice, this really is so dark. Okay. I wore this because I swear I smelt someone getting onto the tube. I was behind her on the escalators going down to the tube, and I swear she was wearing this perfume. It's quite similar to things like Irresistible from Givenchy, and even a little bit similar to that original, what's it called, Fairy Love, from the one with the pear in it, the Fairy Love from Escada. But both of those smell really chemically, and this one is more kind of floral pear. But this one also has cacao in it, and that's why I was thinking, because at first I was like, well, it could be Irresistible by Givenchy. That's kind of a more popular and famous perfume, I'd say. But I could swear I could smell the cacao. I could just get a hint of it. And every time, because we were standing next to each other when the tube was coming, and every time there was a waft, I was like, oh my God, she smells amazing. I really need to break this out again. So this is pear, orange, bergamot and galbanum in the top, mid notes of peony and hyacinth, base notes cacao and cedar. Now when I first got this, I was like, this is a pear tin, basically a tin of pears, maybe not in syrup, but definitely in like sweet water or whatever, sweet juice. So tinned pears sprinkled in cacao. But now I've been doing this channel for much longer, and my nose just recognises notes in a slightly different way and recognises more notes. And I do feel like that's the thing. The more perfumes you smell, the better you get. You know, same with food. The more flavours you try, the better you get at differentiating between different ingredients, right? And this is actually quite floral. And I hadn't realised that until, like, not now, but like quite recently. And it is a very floral pear. So I think some people could find this a little bit too screechy, because there are really recognisable flowers in here. I can actually recognise the hyacinth from other perfumes that I have with hyacinth in. So for instance, the new Modern Princess in Denim, that's a hyacinth perfume. And then the, is it Kenzo? The Kenzo Parfum d'Eté. Or is that Issey Miyake? No, I think it's Kenzo. But there's the peony in here, I think could be bothersome to some people, but I feel like this is really nicely balanced between the pear, quite a sweet pear, and then you've got that just touch of richness from the cacao on top of those flowers. So this does still have a little hint of the original Anais, which is a perfume that has traditionally been way too floral for me personally. Quite a classic vintage smelling floral, but this was really fun to wear. This is a very good value, very strong perfume that you don't need to keep reapplying all the time. And it's such an affordable perfume for how well it performs. But yeah, this is not kind of Burberry Brit levels of sweet pear. I think this one is probably best in mild weather rather than cold. I think it's very strong, so I don't know. I'm going to have to try this again in slightly warmer weather now that I'm a little bit less fussy. I wouldn't be able to wear it in hot weather. It would definitely overwhelm me. But maybe in kind of mild, I think is when this would shine. Because the day that I smelt the lady wearing it was before it really hit super cold weather. And I wore it in really cold weather. So, but it's lovely. And I definitely recommend that one. I think it's great. Okay. Can I fit this on the end? I think so. Another one that I've been so excited to wear. But this is another one that is just too sweet for me to wear in warmer weather, so I have to wait till it's cold. This is Sarah Jessica Parker Stash Unspoken. I put this dent in it myself, which for a collection of over 200 perfumes I'd say is pretty good. I love Stash Unspoken. It is one of my comfort scents in cold weather. It's tonka and it's a lot of sandalwood, and I think personally quite a lot of honeysuckle. I mean, it's absolutely delicious. So quince and pink pepper in the top, mid notes of honeysuckle, wisteria, peony in the mid, base notes tonka bean, sandalwood, musk and olibanum. And I think this has a texture and a feeling and even a little bit of a scent that has crossovers with Jo Malone Scarlet Poppy. And that is the only reason I haven't got at least a little 9mm 9ml bottle of the Scarlet Poppy, because when I was wearing it from the sample that I had, it just really reminded me of how I feel when I wear this. And I've got loads of this perfume because I love it. And it's far more affordable. It's so cozy. Again, like if you were to put on like a cream coloured fluffy jumper with a big kind of turtleneck, you know, like a huge neck, that's just what this perfume smells like. I love it. So I was super happy to get that one out again. All right, where are we going to go from here? Well, obviously, again, I don't need to talk about this. I wear it all the time. Wore it at the weekend. It's a real true comfort blanket and an absolute love. Mon Guerlain. I wore that one and it was delicious. lavender bergamot in the top, iris, jasmine, sambac and rose in the mid, Tahitian vanilla, coumarin, Australian sandalwood, licorice, benzoin and patchouli. Talked about it a million times, so that is all I'm going to say about that one. Let's see, what else? Where shall I go next? Oh, well, oh my God. This one is discontinued, but you can still get this for a premium price. But, well, actually, no, I mean, I don't think this is being sold for any more expensive than you get it, than you would have paid for it, like when it was originally out, even though it's hard to find. This is Pure Poison Elixir. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I mean, it is a type of magic, guys. So this smells, it does really smell very similar to the dupe that I have of Pure Poison, which is Mamba Juice, I think it's called, from Saffron London, and I love that. But this one is sweeter. It has a gourmand kind of hint in it. So it's like slightly sweeter, slightly creamier, and it's just like, to me, the nicest version of this kind of scent that I've smelt. Although, you know, there's loads I still haven't smelt, but oh my God. This also kind of reminds me a little bit of Jasmine's Marzipan, but with a cacao note in it. So I'm just going to show you the colour. Look at the colour of this juice. So this is what's inside this guy. These normally come with like a sprayer thing, but I bought this as a partial bottle, and those sprayers always look really gross to me. They don't seem to be very good quality, even though they're from Dior. They get a bit sticky. But then this is, honestly, this has such an oily consistency, because when I was pouring it into here, I got some on my fingers and it was like, ooh. When you first sniff this, there's more citrus in this, and it almost has a very gentle boozy quality about it. But then it dries down into smelling like Pure Poison plus cacao. So this is jasmine, mandarin orange, petitgrain, bergamot in the top, mid notes of African orange flower and gardenia, base notes vanilla, cacao and amber. So I do find, I mean, is soapy the right word? I guess so. Like, I find Pure Poison soapy, but like not in a harsh way, in a very fancy bar soapy, pushing into body lotion, like kind of texture. It's creamy, but not in a gourmand way, you know. It's like creamy in a lotiony way. And the thing with the Elixir is that it adds that hint of gourmand that makes it ever so slightly less like a lotion and slightly more kind of perfumey. Oh my God. I mean, honestly, if you can get hold of this, if you can afford to get hold of this. But I also love the dupe I have, and that's the one I wear in warmer weather. So this is, it doesn't last forever, and it's only like strong briefly, but oh my God, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. It should be called obsession. It's pure deliciousness. So yeah, that is an investment I was very happy to make, and I just love that perfume. And then I'm sticking with Poison, because I also wore, and if you saw my video on Wednesday, you'll have already seen this one and you'll know that I have it. If you only watch my what I wore last week, then you will be possibly confused that I have this perfume. Yeah. So I've been for ages collecting a bunch of La Rive perfumes. Not necessarily even ones that I wanted to wear or that I particularly liked. When I've seen them for a good price, I've just been buying La Rive. So I've got like an absolute massive collection, so I can make a massive house overview. I will be doing that at some point in 2025, because I think I've got everything that I was interested in testing out. One of them was one I got ages ago, and that was the Hypnotic Poison dupe called Sweet Hope. So I started to just fall in love with that perfume whenever I'd pull it out and have a little sniff. So then I also got a Hypnotic Poison, like the real Hypnotic Poison. I got a tester of it, you know, like a little sample carded tester. And it's a bit different than the Sweet Hope, but I loved it. And it doesn't have the same insane strength that it used to when I used to smell this in store. So I got a partial bottle again. I mean, I think it was pretty full, actually. It's still, I mean, I'm trying to see, I don't know, I'll have to put it up to the window. This is over half full, and I think this was like, I think I got it for about £25. And this is a 30ml bottle, and it's lovely. This is one of the newer bottles. So I genuinely was not expecting to fall in love with Hypnotic Poison because it has that thing that I don't really like, which is what's it called? Like a root beery smell, like a dandelion and burdock vibe going on. And I don't love that. And I still don't love that element of it. I like the spiciness, but the kind of root beery vibe that you get, that's not my favourite bit. But once it dries down and the almondy vanilla comes through, there's some people say it smells like Play-Doh, and I would describe it more as marzipan. And I just love the dry down, and it was so cozy. And I hammered through the sample, and I just had to get this. So it's so delicious, and I love it. The notes are coconut, plum, and apricot in the top. Mid notes of Brazilian rosewood, jasmine, caraway, tuberose, rose, and lily of the valley. Base notes vanilla, almond, sandalwood, and musk. So I'd say about this one that Sweet Hope, I think some people say that one smells more like the original version of Hypnotic Poison. I think I like this one because it has that weird sort of marzipan-y smell in it, which I quite enjoy and I find cozy and quite comforting. But the Sweet Hope one is more of an actual vanilla. Like, I feel like it's less that marzipan-y smell, and it's got a lot more root beer, but because it's a Larive, it's nowhere near as strong as the old Hypnotic Poison. So I actually really like that one as well, and you will be seeing that because I'll definitely wear that one too. But if you don't like the play-doughiness in this, it might be worth trying the Larive Sweet Hope, because I do feel in there they've got more of the vanilla that they have in Larive Vanilla Touch, and a little bit less of the kind of marzipan-y thing that you get here. It's just a little bit less, I think. More of an obvious vanilla to me, on my skin anyway. But yeah, I'm happy to have them both, and I think they're delicious. But I mean, I just love the Poison bottles. So you're going to see more like Poison coming up now that it's cold weather, because I love looking for Poison on eBay, and I have managed to find some really good bargains. So you'll see more. Sorry guys, I just managed to kick my thing. So all right. The last thing to mention, because I forgot, I had to go and get this bottle, hence kicking my setup. So on the day that I wore Prerogative Ego, I put it on in the morning and it lasted pretty much all day. And then as soon as it was a little bit fainter, I put American Cream on, because I wanted to stick with the kind of pink smelling scents, you know. But I was feeling this one was just too sickly, so I wanted to kind of add something else. It actually covered it up pretty well. So American Cream, I mean, it's absolutely perfect. It's, let's see, what's this one got in it? Vanilla, clary sage, benzoin, lavender, coumarin. It's got like Anais. It's got like a citrusy rose accord from the geraniol. It's got like balsamics. It's got like a cinnamony scent in there, and then it's got something that I can't pronounce, but it's a compound that smells a bit like violet and iris. So you've got the rose, you've got the violet, you've got the iris, you've got the clary sage, you've got lavender, and then you've got this warm benzoin, and it's got a very, very coumarin heavy vanillic dry down. So, you know, a million times I'll say it, it does not to me smell anything like a strawberry milkshake. I think the notes on Fragrantica are really misleading. I think sometimes the way that Lush described this is quite misleading, and I personally think that this smells like crystallized flowers, and a little bit of sage sprinkled onto a white fondant icing. That's just how it feels. Really has an icing sugary quality to this, without moving too far into the kind of sort of citric acidy baking powdery vibe that I get from some Lush perfumes that smell a bit like their bath bombs. So yeah, absolutely delicious and lovely, and it's just magic. So, all right, if you've been waiting, I have been to Lush. So they released their community perfumes, their new ones, their new limited editions, and they brought back some classics, and then there were some that I've never smelt before, which I don't know whether they've ever had perfumes of them, but they were certainly in the products. So what have I got first? Let's have a look. Let's start with, old songs are waking. Old Songs Are Waking starts off, I mean, it's hard to describe this one. It's got, let's see, what does it say? Tonka and vanilla, but bergamot oil and olibanum. And then it has geraniol. They normally have those kind of cinnamate, that kind of thing. This one smells like an actual Lush shop, I think, when it dries down. So it starts off smelling a little bit more interesting than that, and I think that's the olibanum. It's like a slightly sweet, citrusy, yummy scent. And then the more it dries down, the more it just fully smells like a Lush shop to me. So now it's like a kind of soft and citrusy, less powdery version of something like 29 High Street. I mean, it's been a while since I had that perfume, but this one really just will make you smell like you're inside Lush. And I'm not mad for this one, to be honest. I'm not mad for it. It's okay, but I don't love it. So yeah, it's just okay. Let's see. My phone is making noises. Okay, so what's next? Oh, right. Okay, yeah, let's get to it straight away. Supermilk. Supermilk has come back out. Someone said in my comments that apparently they have reformulated this to make it smell more like the hair product, because a lot of people weren't too keen on the old version. And it does smell slightly different to me. It does smell a bit creamier than it did before. It still, to me, has that same thing, which honestly is already in Supermilk, the hair conditioner, or whatever it's called, the conditioning spray. And it has a very bitter peel scent to it, like a real kind of bitter citrus oils. But it's definitely creamier. You've still got an absolute ton of benzoin, and that's pretty much what I can smell now in the deep dry down. So it has that kind of gingerbready, sweet, yummy smell. I do prefer this new version. Although saying that, I didn't get to wear this one on my skin because I was trying the things I hadn't smelt before on my skin. So this one, I think it's worth trying. When I go back next, I will try it on my skin and I'll let you know how it goes. But I still get the feeling from this that it's not going to be my favourite, so I didn't buy a bottle. This one is, let's have a look. It's Elixir, Cubea, Tonka Absolute, Vanilla Absolute, Almond Essential Oil, all the different benzols, cinnamol, of course, geraniol. They're all in everything. They're always in there. Yeah, it smells like Supermilk. So that one is nice. If you like Supermilk, the smell of the hair stuff, you're going to love it. Then we have... Oh yes, Butterball. I used to have this as a perfume and then I sold it. So Butterball is one of the few perfumes from Lush that I've seen actually list synthetic musk. So this one is supposed to be kind of musky, powdery skin scent. It's very powdery. This is a grown-up smelling, very sweet, baby powdery type smell. It has a lot of ylang ylang in it. It's got synthetic musk, and then it's supposed to have a smell that smells like powder and a bit of cacao. I do sense, I think that's the sweetness coming through, that you get like a very powdery sweetness. But this one I just found a little bit flat and sickly in the old bottle, and I find it the same now. But what I will say is if you like things like Jill Sanders Poudre, those kind of perfumes, you might really like Butterball. This one might be up your street because it is just a very sweet, powdery, comforting skin scent. It's just a little bit too sugary sweet for me. But it is pretty. It's not one that I dislike at all. It's just one that I've already had, and I know that when I tried to wear it, I didn't love it on me. So, yeah, that one, it's very nice, but it's not one that I'd want to buy. What's this? Oh, Milky Bath. Okay. I hadn't smelt this one before. This is really interesting because this one is not necessarily one that I would want to wear, but it is something I'd really like to smell around my house because when I first smelt this in store, when I first sprayed it out, it really reminded me of how my towels smell when I've put them on like a really hardcore 90-degree wash. So it smells like kind of laundry. It's got orange and patchouli oil. What else is in here? Same as always. Yeah, there's not really anything else to explain why this smells the way it does. The patchouli is a bit earthy, but it in a weird way smells like clean laundry as well. One of the things that I'm not mad for in here, though, is the same thing that I'm not mad for in one of the newer perfumes that were released in the perfume library that I've completely forgotten the name of, but it's supposed to smell like petrichor, that one. Dew on Their Hems, I think. It kind of smells a bit melony cucumbery to me. But it's also quite soapy, and yeah, I mean, this is Lush's version of a fresh laundry scent. And again, this one's not for me, but I do think it's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting one. It's just not my kind of feel, because it definitely has something in there that I'm not loving. And then, okay, now we have, let's see, where is that one? Ah, there. Yuzu and cocoa, delicious. I've already asked for a bottle of this from my sister for Christmas. So I have the little perfume pen spray of Yuzu and cocoa, and I love it. This is, as I expected, a lighter version, so possibly more wearable for some people. But it really is just, it smells like a chocolate orange. It really does. It's got Tonka Absolute, Cocoa Absolute, grapefruit oil, but it does smell very much like a delicious chocolate orange, but like a kind of dark chocolate ganache, it's not too milky. Yeah, I mean, if you were looking for something that was a little bit like Hugo Boss, The Scent for Her Private Accord, but was like, for instance, vegan or more natural just generally, and maybe didn't have the same terrible longevity at that one, or one that doesn't just turn into a vanilla perfume, which is what I found happened with that. It smells like vanilla and chocolate, but the orange kind of disappears from it. This is a really good shout. I really like Yuzu and cocoa. I think it's delicious. Yeah, I love it. Then we have one that I actually bought. So this is Sultana. So I've been interested in trying this perfume for ages. It's been one that I've been looking for on eBay for a while, but I've never really come across a decent priced, clean looking bottle of it. And then when they said it was coming out, I knew I didn't have to look anymore. So Sultana, I don't really know how to describe this. What does it say in it? There's not really much to describe why this smells the way it does. It's got olibanum and bergamot in it. Well, frankincense, I guess. I mean, it's olibanum and frankincense are the same thing, but it does smell a little bit like dried fruits, but it also smells a bit soapy, like a creamy bar soap kind of smell, but it's also quite fresh. It's not too sweet, this one. There is a sweetness to it. This is one of the most perfumey perfumes I've ever smelt from Lush. Like, as in, although, because there's something recognisable about this from one of their products, or maybe a few of their products, it does still smell like Lush, but it really just smells like a perfume to me. Now, I've tried this on my skin and I did quite like it, but I do think this smells like it's going to be better in warm weather. I feel like it's too cold for this at the moment, and it doesn't, yeah, I mean, I just think this one's going to shine when it's a little bit warmer. I can still smell it on here though. Like, if I spray it out again, what do I get in the top? Ooh! It's a very clear liquid. I also very rarely see perfumes from Lush that are like completely clear. Yeah, it's like, really, what's going on in this? How do you even explain this? I guess it does like have that olibanum-y vibe that you get in Shade, but it doesn't have the same sandalwoody kind of creaminess in there. It's a different... It's almost like there's a little bit of a peary smell in here when you first spray it. like pear drops, like an unnatural pear. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to wear this one to really be able to describe it. It's quite intriguing. It's an interesting one. That's why I bought it, because it didn't really smell like anything I've smelt from Lush before, but in quite an interesting way. Yeah, it's pretty. I like it, but I can't really put my finger on what's going on here. Yeah, the more it dries down, the more it gets like a kind of dried fruit kind of scent. But it's really pretty. I do like it. But the one I love it. So last on the list, we have this big bad boy. I'm just going to have to put it here for now because I've literally got no space anywhere. So Cinders. Cinders is cinnamon leaf, Brazilian orange oil, almond oil, cinnamol, coumarin. So this doesn't have any vanilla in it, but the sweetness is coming from the almond and the coumarin, and it's really pretty. So this is an absolute cinnamon bomb. If you don't like cinnamon, stay away from Cinders because it is hardcore cinnamon. And I need to warn you, so let me spray this out. Even the lady, when I went in, she was like, oh, this isn't how I expected it and I don't like it. So she was quite honest with me. And I sprayed it and I was like, oh, I understand what you mean. But I was like, let's wait for the dry down. Let's put it on my skin and wait for the dry down. This, you get the orange and you get some sweetness straight away. But that cinnamon is hardcore antiseptic smelling. It has that same feel that you'd get with like actual cinnamon oil that you might use as an antiseptic. Like, you know, the same way you might use clove oils on a mouth ulcer. It has that scent to it. And it's crazy, like, how weird that smells for a little while. It really smells like you've put, like, TCP or something on your skin. But when this dries down, it smells like Christmas to me. It's got it kind of really loses that antiseptic smell and just turns into a beautiful, warm, spicy cinnamon. And then you have that lovely orange smell. So it does smell like you're like you've put cloves and cinnamon into an orange that you're going to use for mulled wine. You know, it's that kind of feel. Is it called a pomander? What are those things that you used to make at church, you know, and you just stick all the things in and you just shove a candle in it? I can't remember what they're called, but I feel like this back in like Elizabethan times is what people used to carry around with them. Like they just put these things like in an orange to make it smell nice and like put it in a little pouch and carry it around so they smell nice. But I might be making that up. If you're a historian, tell me if I'm totally wrong about that and I've just maybe been watching Blackadder or something. The longer this is on your skin, the more that coumarin and almond gets creamier and sweeter, and it just is so pretty. It is the 1st of December today. I don't have anything on because I've just got up, right? So I didn't spray anything on because I knew I was going to be sniffing all these and talking to you about it. But when I'm dressed, this is what I'm going to wear today to celebrate while we put our little tree up. And I'm going to have Christmas music on and I'm going to smell like Christmas. And, oh, I'm now regretting the fact we don't really have any Christmas food. But anyway, fine. I'll make up for it the rest of the month. I really like Cinders, but it's like Elphaba. It kind of starts off one place and you're like, I'm not sure if this is for me because it smells so it's got such natural oil smelling things that smell like aromatherapy in those two perfumes. And then when they dry down, they turn into a perfume, a sweet, lovely perfume. Yeah, I love it. So yeah. So I probably don't have room to leave this here. I'm trying to think if I can just... That seems a bit dangerous, doesn't it? So yeah, I had a lovely week. I've only got one declutter and everything else was pretty fun. And I've got a few new ones, although I guess I'm decluttering the Burberry Goddess Intense because that was a shocker, guys. That was such a shocker. All right, guys, I hope you have a lovely week and I'll be back next Sunday. So thanks again for watching. You are all wonderful. Bye.